Hey, I want to talk today just a little bit about what I call friendship evangelism. I'm kind of frustrated. I'm reading things that people are starting churches. That's wonderful, but a whole lot of it is musical chairs. We really need to be starting churches based on evangelism. And, churches that I've started, we've always just worked with a handful of, kind of fringy Christians, and then we teach them and even sometimes script them on how to share your faith with your neighbor. And it's not really all about preaching or the four spiritual laws or some of those things that we've used in the past. We're using prayer as an avenue. We're getting into people's lives. I found that 85 to 90% in an annual poll that we did in our churches, the churches that I ran, every year would say that the people who were sitting in those chairs came to our church because they came to Christ through somebody. Huge evangelism process going on. And it was wonderful. A lot of it centers on prayer. We'll get into that a little bit today and maybe another time. But, I was recently really, really convicted. I read a book called The Art of Neighboring. And I realized, I'm a friendly guy, and people come by, I wave at them, and they come home from work, and they come to my house and my driveway, and we talk. If I'm out hanging in my garage or working in my yard, and then I read this book, and I realized that's the only time I talk to my neighbors. If they come to my house, we talk. I don't go to their house. And so I started to make a concerted attempt. I actually asked for prayer because I'm not very good at this, a little bit shy. And so I started kind of figuring out that at least in the spring and summer, I'll kind of lurk in my garage and around the time that people come home from work. And then when they get out of their car, whatever, I go where they are. And one neighbor lives quite down the hill. It's a real steep hill. Another up the hill, real steep hill again. And we've become really good friends. In fact, the neighbors up the hill saw me doing stuff in the yard. We were talking already. I was doing stuff quite a bit. I was building a retaining wall. They went out and did the same thing to their yard. That's not evangelism, but that is friendship. And the neighbor down the hill, right when COVID hit, he went through a real hard time. He lost his job. He was already transitioning to a business that he was starting, but things got a little tight. And he had some permitting problems. He was flipping houses, and I already been talking about God. I talk about God like I talk about the NFL. It's just I was prayed this week and this happened, and then we go and talk about something else. And so I had already kind of set the stage for this, and so twice I got to pray with him, and I gave him a book, a couple books, in fact. He's read those, and we're just kind of moving into this friendship. The friendship goes beyond evangelism. I mean, friendship is friendship. And what little I know about investing, I've been coaching this guy. He's quite a bit younger than me and has no idea of what the stock market's all about and all that. And so this has been really a productive time. And when COVID hit, my wife was making masks for all of our Christian friends, just taking Hawaiian cloth that she'd bought when we lived there. She was going to make some quilts and turn it into masks. And then we got this idea, well, let's just give them to our neighbors. And so we'd put like 6 masks in a baggie per household. And we went 4 houses up the street, 4 houses down the street, and some houses across the street, and shared them with people. Some of those people were total strangers. They were happy to get the masks, happy for the gesture of friendship. And along with the mask, we kind of made a promise that we're going to have a block party once COVID is over. And so as I'm thinking about all these things, and especially thinking about evangelism in this kind of post-Christian era in America, one thing that seems really, really important to me is that we're ready to go a little bit underground. Now, I'm not one of these people that thinks that there's all kind of conspiracies against the church and everybody's out to get us. But I do believe that the overt and kind of pushy and advertising, all the stuff that we've been doing in the past, is going to not work as well as it did in the past. And that we're going to have to kind of get a little bit under the radar. And the best way to do that is life to life, friendship to friendship. When I read Matthew 5, Jesus is talking about salt and light. Both are extremely effective at changing the world around them, but both are quiet. And I think we're going to have to get a little quieter and move forward.